Thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Wonderful.
And kudos to your technology skills.
We're just going to see if this works. If not, we will take it down and try
Okay.
again. But welcome, everybody. I hope some people are logging in. This is our first sponsor spotlight that we are doing for our Young Professionals Network of North San Diego County. And I have here with me today one of our amazing platinum sponsors, Tawny Vargas with Oakwood Escrow.
Thank you. I like that introduction.
Yes. So thanks so much for joining us. We, in this downtime, we're, a little bit bummed with YPN. Normally we'd be having events and we'd be all in person and, hopefully having a Lucky House on tour. But with us not being able to get together in person, we wanted to still thank you all so much for sponsoring us this year. And we wanted to show all of our followers your face and just have a minute to get to know you and to hear a little bit about your business and what's going on with Oakwood right now. So hopefully this is working and we're live on Facebook. But let's go ahead and get started. I've been looking forward to this interview because Tawny, I've known of you and been in the industry and seen you around for the past couple years, but haven't gotten the opportunity to get to know you very well. So I wanted to hear how you got in the business and how long you've been working in escrow and how'd you get in this whole crazy ordeal?
Absolutely, right? I know. Well, I certainly appreciate the opportunity too, because I think first and foremost, we're in such a person-to-person business. And even now that it's technology person-to-person, it's such a great opportunity to get to know each other, everybody out there, a little bit about my story. So prior to joining Oakwood, I was actually in medical sales. So I was in device, always running around in the hospitals. I was always in the OR. I have so much respect for the physicians and the nurses and everything that they're doing right now, especially. But it was a job I loved, but a job that really took a toll on me. And I was looking for something that I could have a little bit more work-life balance. Whether I found that or not, we'll see. But I joined Oakwood about 3.5 years ago now. And I never thought I would go into real estate, never thought I'd go into escrow, didn't even know what escrow was. But for me, I met the president, Jason Scally. He sat me down for lunch. Just the way that he held himself and how he described his company, what he built the company upon, and his morals and integrity. I was immediately sold and said, I don't even care what I'm doing, or just the way he upholds himself. I know that the company that I was joining was something that you rarely see in any industry. So I hit the ground running 3.5 years ago and never looked back. Been so happy and such a wonderful team that I work with that I can't even imagine life without them at the moment.
That is awesome.
So yeah.
Awesome. Seems like a great place to be and really top-notch escrow officers and great management. So tell us a little bit more about Oakwood and your escrow officers and where your locations are and just your kind of day-to-day and what you're seeing right now.
Perfect. Well, a little bit about Oakwood. I kind of started off, everything stems from our incredible president, Jason Scally, and our leadership. But we have 5 offices throughout San Diego. They are so beautiful. So when he designed them, he wanted them to feel like homes. So when you walk in, it's more of like walking into a living room versus walking into an office, which most escrow companies were commonly seen as offices. So he decided that he wanted something a little bit more comfortable. So he spread them out throughout Southern California. So we have offices in Escondido, Rancho Bernardo, Del Mar, La Mesa, and Mission Valley. Hopefully more to come. And especially right now, I know we can't have people in the offices with everything that's going on, but we do offer mobile notaries, and I'll go into that a little bit later. But so happy with this team. I think I always describe our escrow officers as the engine, right? So I'm out there being the face and explaining what we do. And it's really the ladies that we work with and the team, the escrow officers and their assistants who are making the magic happen. So we're only as good as our officers. And that's something that we take a lot of pride when we bring people onto the team. It's not just how good you are at escrow or how many years, it's also the personalities that we bring to the table. So our philosophy is to have, a personality with the escrow, and my job pairing an agent or a client with the correct officer is everything. So we have a personality for everybody. I always make the joke. I'm like, if you don't like how her voice sounds on the phone, let me know, because we have an option that's going to be the best match. So I really, truly am like a matchmaker for escrow officer and agent and business partner.
That is awesome.
Yeah. It just makes life so much smoother. We're all communicated differently, and we want it to be a customized escrow experience and not just, you're in escrow, this is how it goes, deal with it. I mean, you see each other for 30 to 90 days. So you might as well work with somebody that you really love and enjoys working with you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is awesome to know. What a fun job too, that you get to know people and get to know their personality and then see where they would be the best fit. And and where are you primarily focusing? What is your territory that you cover? And can you go, what does that look like for you and your territory and the agents and lenders that you work with?
Yes. I'm a little bit of everywhere. So people see me and they're like, you're everywhere. Yes, I'm literally everywhere. And I love being everywhere. Most of the time I say coastal, all the way from Oceanside down to Point Loma, and then Rancho Santa Fe, Del Mar. But it really just depends on what's right for the people that we work with. So again, there's no boundaries. We don't set boundaries. You can't work with this person because they're in El Cajon. It's really just about being there for the people that you work with, and making it about them. So when I came on board, I would always say, like, I'm not a rep. I hate, like, you're a rep and that's all you do. When in reality, there's so much we do that we're constant helpers, that the many hats that we wear is just what we love about our job. So I'm like, no matter where you need me, what you need me to do, I'd rather you ask and I figure it out than I just don't like saying no.
Yeah.
I'm a problem solver, which I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, absolutely. I know the name of the game with that. It's like, it might not be totally escrow or title related, but let me know what you need. We'll find out where to get it. And that's a great tip. That's a great resource to be in any business, and I think that that's something I always say is, if there's, and I love to tell to newer agents too, if there's always going to be things that you don't know. And it's a really great trait to be able to say, I don't know exactly, but let me go find out where to get that for you. And that's the awesome thing about being a rep and having such great management and escrow officers and people behind you, that you're the face of it. And people can come to you and you can go in the in the back and figure out where to get those answers and how to solve those problems, which is pretty cool.
And it's perfect because I always say, when I'm talking to a realtor or a lender, and I mean it, like, I am their representation inside our Oakwood walls. So I'm the one that's, pushing something through, or what do you need? How can I help this go smoother? How can I solve this problem? So when people call me or text me or email me, it's never like, you're bothering me. I love it. I love being the problem solver and making things happen. It's just, I thrive for it. It's the great part of the job.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And we'll put Tawny's contact information in the comments here below. So always feel free to reach out to Tawny. We're so thankful that she is involved with our Young Professionals Network, and we'd love for you all to support her business. And so we'll make sure that her contact information is readily available. And I asked our committee a couple questions, if they had any questions that they wanted to ask you right now, that would be good topics to cover. And I know a lot of people are interested right now in what's going on with COVID and what you all are seeing. And I think that, we'd love to hear what you're seeing with notaries, what the process is right now, and what the protocol is, and how you all are able to do signings, and some questions about security and everything too. I know that there are some escrow companies that don't have all the security certifications that you all do. And if you wanted to even touch on that, we'd love to hear how that is all set up. So
absolutely. So right now, you mentioned notaries and COVID-19. It's definitely a hot topic. So I think we were kind of talking a little before the remote online notaries. They are not set up in California. It is not approved right now. There are some states throughout the US that do have it set up. I think I read an article recently that it's almost 24 that have it set up. So it's not saying that legislation, because of the times right now and COVID-19 and the need for it, that they won't push it through, but it is not approved. So the remote online notary that's not here in California, what that looks like is that something like right now that me and Melody are actually online, you would actually identify the person signing through an online portal, checking the ID, asking personal questions to make sure that they answer those, and they would sign the document electronically through a system similar to this. And that's how they would do the remote online notary. Because that's not here in California, Oakwood and all the other escrow companies are actually utilizing mobile notaries, which we've been utilizing for many years. And so what the mobile notaries do is they're going to the person like they normally do, but they're taking extra precautions to keep them safe, to keep themselves safe, and of course, to keep the people that they are signing safe. So with Oakwood, we have a virtual escrow experience that we established last year. Thank goodness, because it's coming into play now. And
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Test it out. People can feel comfortable that they don't have to go in the office ever. They get a guided experience with our escrow officers, as we always want them to have, explaining and making sure that we're clear with everything we're doing, why we're doing it. But letting them know too, when the notary arrives, what the notary is going to do, how it's going to be handled. So they never have to be in close contact with the notary. The closest thing that they ever have to do is put their thumb on the notary book to make sure that they have their thumbprint. And even that is done with precautions too, with alcohol and sanitized wipes. So through that, pretty much, it's like now they're following all CDC orders to stay at home, be safe. So we are successfully completing notaries through that right now.
Good. Yeah. I know that was an area of concern, because I know like the San Diego County Recorder's closed, but we're able to still do e-recordings. And so we're still able to record, and transactions are going on because there's so much we're able to do remotely. But the notary is the thing where you got to come together. So that's been an interesting one. That'll be interesting to see if they approve the remote online notary too, but it doesn't sound like anything's happening anytime soon. So keep us posted if you hear anything.
Absolutely.
Any other things that you all are seeing right now during this time, and how has it affected your business and, repping? How have you taken any changes to stay in touch with your clientele? What kind of projects have you been working on, and how are you liking it?
Yeah. There's definitely been some changes for us as well. So I think when the stay-at-home orders first hit, I think everybody kind of went into what is this? What do we do? How long is this going to last? Luckily for Oakwood, we've just always been the team that's kind of the be ready, don't get ready. So we have the mentality that first and foremost, we were always going to put safety and security to all of those that we work with first. So we got through everything, making sure that all of our, escrow officers that needed to work from home were doing that set up. And then those that could go to the office were taking the safety precautions. So we were just so lucky to have a team that had that mentality of the get it done, do it right, maintain your integrity, and just be there for the people who we're working with. That we didn't have many, there are the certain little challenges, but we got over those so quickly that it turned back into quote unquote business as usual. And now for me, there's just so many online things. I'm actually finding that we're almost closer to people on a more personal level, and being able to check on them and their family. And it's just, being in Zooms and seeing animals and kids in the background, and just bringing this human side back to everybody. I kind of have the love-hate relationship with this pandemic.
Ready to get back out there and see people in person. But it also, it's really interesting how it's just slowing it all down a little bit. But, I like the not running around part as much. I feel like with being a rep, you're always everywhere all the time. So it's nice to try to be everywhere, but on the computer.
Exactly. And we're still very much here for me. So, I get calls and texts and emails all day, and getting creative on how to make things happen. It's been a good challenge, a nice challenge. I'm enjoying it, doing all that I can to be there for people as well.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned that we're slowing down. I definitely wanted to touch on that. So in April, we started to see deals that was when the stay-at-home orders first hit. We started to see deals still closing out from March. So we didn't have much of a slowdown. Things were still closing and we didn't really notice it. Now we're 2 months into, the stay-at-home orders and we're starting to see a slowdown. But it's not just because of the pandemic. So this is something that we've been on a housing shortage, which I'm sure you can attest to, for quite some time now. And we just don't have as many openings industry wide. So it's not just, an Oakwood thing. It's not just a pandemic thing. It's industry wide, but people are still out there. So every day we're still closing transactions. We're still opening transactions.
Yeah.
And, safely doing it. People want to buy houses right now. For me, I'm almost shocked that more people aren't putting their houses out there, because I'm hearing, it went into escrow in 9 days and we got 150,000 over asking. And I'm like, what? Like, it's in demand right now. So it's a great time if you can to put your house on the market. It's fantastic.
I agree. I'm seeing things go, get listed and go into escrow really quick. And even, properties that have been listed for a while, I think it even, for some people, it might be causing some, slowdown or change in their life, that they might have the time right now, to go through all their documents and get all their ducks in a row to be able to buy or refinance. So it'll definitely be good to keep an eye on the market and what's going on, because I think it could be a beneficial time for a lot of people.
Yeah, buyers getting good deals too. And the buyers that are out there, people just don't want everybody in their house. They're very selective about who's coming in their house. So the buyers that are out there are serious. They have to show proof of funds. They're well qualified. And so that's what's making with the smooth transactions or their cash offers. It's a good thing now, and I think if people wait to put their houses on the market, it might have a boom. This is just me predicting, but there might be a boom where everybody puts their house on the market that could result in lower housing prices. You never know. So there's a lot of changes that could be coming, but it's a good time. Yeah. And not a lot of cancellations either, which is
good.
Surprising. At the beginning, for sure, you saw some people a little scared, a little nervous, but now it's kind of evened out and not as many cancellations as we had thought before. Yeah.
That's encouraging. That's good news. That's wonderful. Well, good. Well, I am excited for this year and to see how everything goes, and our, change of business doesn't have to be a negative thing. I think there's a lot of silver lining in it, like this. This was awesome to be able to do an interview. We'd love to do this again and even have one of your escrow officers come on. But we're just so thankful for Oakwood and you all sponsoring and being involved in our network this year. And it's so great to
have an escrow officer on here, because the way that they're just so knowledgeable, and I can always speak to everything Oakwood and safety and security and all that we do, and for hours and hours. It's just a special company in what they do. So definitely, for those out there though who are looking to buy a home, I would say, just as normal, within anything, not just the pandemic, but any changes in society, there are people who are trying to get your money, and there's scams that are out there asking for donations for charity. So be very cautious of who you're giving your information to, who you're giving your money to. Are they a reputable person? And just be very careful with wire fraud. There's no increases that we've seen, but it's out there, and every day we're catching wire fraud attempts. And our security is good enough to catch these people in a sense of not losing clients' money and just keeping them safe, and the precautions that we take. So I will say, follow the precautions. They work. Never email your wiring instructions. Never text them, only through phone or fax. No matter if you work with us or anybody, just follow the safety precautions. It's very, very important.
Yes. And be very selective in your escrow. And if you need a great one, feel free to comment here. We'll make Connie's information is out there. It really is important who you work with. So don't take that decision Tawny, thank you so much for doing this today. I really appreciate it, and it was great. And we look forward to having you on again sometime. And we'll see how this turned out on Facebook. This was our first Zoom Facebook Live. We're going to be having another one morning. We're having a Wake Up with YPN, and one of our committee members, Olivia Reed, is going to be at 7 a.m. on Tuesday. So if anybody wants to come do yoga with us Tuesday morning, and that will just be on this Zoom train and see if we can, because this was great info. Thanks so much for all of the tips and information. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, look forward to working with everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for having me.
All right. Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. Bye, Facebook.